All right. Good evening. It is Tuesday, January 14th. I am live from the studio. It's Tuesday night. All right. Let's get this media thing down. All right. Yeah, I got all the lights on today. Still trying to figure out what the best lighting situation is here. But yeah, welcome. It is second live stream of the year and coming up on the first convention of the year. Page, Philadelphia, Philadelphia Area Gaming Expo is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They have Thursday hours, but not for the vendors and artists. So that's not going to affect my appearance in any way, negative or positive. But I am a little bit behind on work. What a surprise! No, but it's I had gotten sick I had a diverticulitis attack. I haven't had one of those in a long time, but I ate a lot. Over the Christmas break, or between Christmas and New Year's, and even before it. So that didn't help. But yeah, but I'm back on the mend and everything. But I'm still working on that Orlock piece from last week because I didn't get much done. We went away for my brother's 40th birthday, late surprise celebration, and yeah, other than that and being sick, I really didn't get to touch this thing. So I was working on it during my WhatNot live stream this morning. A second, I want to make sure that this is up here so that we don't get any kind of lighting problem. Oh, that stayed actually a little bit too. Yeah. Usually it stays up better than that. Okay, maybe it's just out too far. Nope. Wow. Sorry, everyone. That looks like I'm going to be. All right, much better, because then I can turn that on. Even though it blows me out, I still have stuff on the table to show. All right, so yeah, I thought so. We got a little bit of a problem with the angle. Now, what's weird is it was so perfect for the WhatNot show, this angle. And then change it up, same angle on the board, but this now. Yeah, okay. So there we are. Still working on him. Actually, I meant to get the wash down on him before the show, but I was cleaning. Am I using the power of the sun for lighting? No. This is like a normal artist lamp. I don't know. It's nothing special, Rob. Although, Rob, I did see my sister-in-law because we took my brother out for his a surprise getaway for his birthday, and she said that your piece is done. Actually, I saw it. Some kind of red thing. I don't know. But yeah, she mentioned that if you're going to see me at a convention, she can send it with me. This way you don't have to pay shipping or anything. She thought that would be easier. So yeah. If you're going to be up in the Sussex County Fairgrounds in 2 weeks, I could bring it there, But yeah, she had mentioned that as a possibility for you. But yeah, well, it looks brighter right now, the light, because I got all the background light in too. I don't know. I thought maybe seeing the whole studio would be nicer. I don't love the setup of the studio in this apartment. I've never felt it was my favorite setup I've had in my life, but it's what I'm working with. So, yeah. Unfortunately, since I got sick, I was not able to finish these, and I won't have them more than likely in time for the convention. Not, I'll have them in Sussex County, but I won't have them for Page this weekend. Also, I'm not going to be doing a live stream next weekend. I might do one on WhatNot. I don't know, because next week, because next week I'm going to see Steph and Carrie Ann of Bad Carrie Studios. The Orlock piece looks fantastic. The lighting in the room is bright. I'll see you at the show. Can I trust you to give her the money? Yeah, of course. Most of it, anyway. No, she'll get the money. I mean, I've worked shows where she, um, where she gave me stuff to take with me, and sell, without her being there. She always gets the money for that stuff. So I have no problem just passing something off and collecting for her, you know. I'm gonna finish filling this in, Rob, but then I might turn off the light since you feel it's a bit over bright. It probably is, but I don't know. I still can't get good lighting on the table without making me look like a ghost. And then I can't, um, and then even when I get good lighting on the table, before I do, I can't seem to light myself well. You're really here for the artwork, but I feel like having a face there helps. Mm. 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 All right, give that just a second to. You like that better, Rob? There you go. Still bright here, but but this isn't any different than I normally have. This lighting setup, it's just not very good for my fair skin. Let's see here. Okay. Oh, Sabrilla, what a great time for you to come up, right? What a great time. Just perfect. Yep, just perfect. Hmm. All right, maybe not right there, though. The sea Orlock. Hmm. Mm, maybe it's not you. Something doesn't smell great, Cirilla. So maybe it was you. Mm. Sorry, Rob, I still have your message up there. Yeah, hi, Cirilla. I just did this all afternoon, too. uh, right. Sorry if I'm moving this partially off of the screen, but this cat in here is not making it easy for me to see past her. Mm-hmm. Mm. Not going to be too happy soon because I'm going to be away for the weekend. I'm going to be stopping in again. Right, lady? Oh, you don't even know. I'll just know when I'm gone. Mm-hmm. I've been thinking about putting something around him on the outside of the coffin, but I don't know yet. I kind of want to get the entire interior section done and then decide if that's what I want. Cat hairs everywhere. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
This piece has already taken so much longer than I expected, but that's okay. I think I've worked some 7 or 8 hours on it at this point. Okay. How do you turn it? All right. Oh, good. I was worried the camera lost me for a second. Actually, now that I think about it, I want those spots to be also darker. All right. All right. A little bit more in here, maybe. Eyebrows. Top. Maybe some more shadows there. Okay. Around the eye. Count Orlok was like one of the first goths too. All black eyeshadow. I mean, eyeshadow on actors in the silent film era was very common.
Even for the mix. All right. Mhm. Mhm. All right. Possibly. All right. I think we're just about done with the inking. Ah, Quiet chat. It's okay. Right. I like how that came out. Oh, wait a second. That's what I went over these tails. They look like they didn't even get hit with anything. Da-da-da-dee-dee-dum. Mm. Mm. Um, I agree. I do agree. I I don't hate the new movie. I didn't love what they did with Orlok. It's weird because I think Bill Skarsgård's performance was awesome. You know, I think if he had looked like this, it would have been I would have been happier with Orlok. But overall, it was a good film. So it's like, how do I complain? I really liked it. I just didn't entirely like the direction of Orlok. I feel like it made him more like Dracula, which, you know, I think part of the point is to enhance all the qualities of Orlok that are different than Dracula. because it's not just the look. I mean, there's a lot of things about him in the story and the way he is as a vampire that's different too. But you know, yeah, the levitation scene. I saw the whole thing on Christmas. His breathing was awesome. It wasn't just the raspiness. I know a lot of people talk about that, but I don't hear enough people talking about how he'd really make that deep breath inward before he spoke, which to me, I always was reading it as like this, like almost like it really was like a corpse. And it was just trying to like force air down into, you know, whatever was left of its lungs to make sound, to be able to speak. It was like, yeah, the breathing was like very labored, but not like it had a nice creepy vibe to it. Having done already 5 Orlock pieces this year, this being number 5. I don't know how many more I should do. The one I did, that was a sketch card of the new version sold today. But oh, you read it the same way. That's awesome. Yeah, I don't hear a lot of people talking about that part, how it sounded like he was like forcing that air in and down to make sound. Like the character, not Bill Skarsgård, of course. It was just a great little touch. Mm-hmm. Starting to feel like my studio is cluttered with way too many things. Mm-hmm. It's hard to find anything sometimes. Oof. Mm-hmm. No, it's doing a bang up job of being an extender for this pencil. What do you got there? All in all, I liked it. And with the mustache, look like Vlad the Impaler, so I get it. Yeah, well, again, that was my issue. It's like, that's great for a Dracula movie, but Count Orlok has at least, especially in the second half of that film, the original, you know, it's not, it kind of, as much as it can, becomes its own thing. And that gets lost in the fact that Robert Eggers had his look go right back to closer to what Dracula is rather than. But, you know, and I don't fault him for this. Robert Eggers is obsessed with historical accuracy. as far as like designs and things in his films and stuff are concerned. So, and I think that's great. And he's making things like The Witch or The Lighthouse or the Northman. But, you know, for Nosferatu, I just wanted to see a gothic vampire and black. So, but again, I'm not hating on the film or the performances. I think it's one of the better vampire movies, you know. I'd still put it up there with some of the great ones, which to me are the original Nosferatu, Coppola's Dracula, probably Let the Right One In, Fright Night, for different reasons. But, you know, I feel like I need a little bit of tape here. I'm probably forgetting a really awesome vampire movie. But I'm talking about like the top of the top. You know, because I could also say things like From Dusk Till Dawn, which I like, but it wouldn't be like one of the top vampire movies. I wouldn't say, oh yeah, that's not working at all. All right, just gonna have to rough it out here. Amiibo, happy New Year. Or is it too far in to say that? I don't know. It's only, what, the 14th? You're still halfway through the month. Happy New Year. I would say it's fair game, right? I don't see why not. I was telling Lewis, by the way, I decided to go back over the contracts one more time. Sorry. I know everyone's been waiting on me for a response there. I did not forget. And I also was, I got sick last week. Let the Right One In 30 Days a Night. Yeah, 30 Days a Night's another one that's really good. I don't know if I would call it, it's like right up there. Almost my favorite, or almost one of my favorites, but not, I don't know how to put it. It's just, I have no issues with the movie, actually. And the graphic novel, I read it before there was a movie, and I remember thinking like, oh my God, this would make a great movie. I didn't read it when it came out, though. And it was shortly after that they announced the movie, and I was like, great, they're gonna make one. It's toned paper, it's gray paper, you know. And then I did black ink on it, a little bit of ink wash for the darker spots, and now I'm using colored pencil for the whites. Oh, you know, I forget about Interview with the Vampire. It is up there. I think it constantly sinks down on my list, just because as I get older, I find Tom Cruise more obnoxious. But yeah, it is a really good film, and a lot of good performers in there. You know, you could overlook Tom Cruise because Brad Pitt, Antonio Banderas is in there. Of course, Christian Slater. You got oh my god, I keep wanting to say Claire Danes. It's Kirsten Dunst. You know. Oh, you did. Cool. We were just talking about it before. I don't know if you've ever seen the original Nosferatu, but I'm curious what you thought of this version. Curious if you've seen the original, and I'm curious what you thought of this version. Feel like at least people are going to stop calling the vampire Nosferatu now. It was, you weren't impressed. You haven't seen the original. The original is probably my favorite film of all time. It's a short list to the top, though, so yeah, it probably is. But I honestly, I loved the movie. It just it didn't hit the same way as the original, and mostly because of the changes to Orlok. Although, again, as I spoke about earlier, Bill Skarsgård's portrayal was great. It wasn't the acting, it was just the physical appearance being too close to Dracula. But all that other stuff, Orlok being more occult-like, and the rats and his association with the plague are much closer to what's in the original film. So Eggers didn't stray from that part of it. But, and in a way, the fact that Orlok was just more sinister, it's at least in spirit in keeping with the original. But yeah, there were some things I wasn't happy about. Overall, I liked it. But I understand as Robert Eggers makes more films and I hear what people are not liking about his films, I understand why people maybe are not as into his stuff, and maybe why I am, because he's extremely meticulous. And so am I. So, I just haven't not liked one of his films. But I get it. I've heard from people that didn't care for it. Mm-hmm. But I would say my order of his films is still The Witch as number one. And then I haven't decided if Nosferatu or the Norseman would be next. I liked the Lighthouse a lot. I just, if you're putting it on a scale, it's not my favorite. But it's still a great movie. So, you're on a scale of great movies. Well, okay, well, it's not the best one. That's okay. But yeah, that's how I would stack them. I want to see it again. I do. You didn't see enough backstory and motivation? Oh, well, see, that's the thing that I like. And it's even in the original Nosferatu. I mean, he's just There's some mention of him just being created by a demon in hell. I personally love it when there's not a lot of backstory given. I'm a minimalist type of person when it comes to that stuff. I feel that in storytelling, it goes too far and can take a lot away. So, but again, if that's not your cup of tea, I don't need a lot of motivation. Little hints and stuff is good for me. Mm-hmm. And yeah, Willem Dafoe's always good, so. He just basically wanted to get laid. See, that's the other thing I didn't like. Well, it's good you bring this up. The amount of time that Orlok spent naked, I really did not care for. And the reason is because in the original Nosferatu, I wouldn't exactly call Orlok a sexual character in any way, which also a lot of times goes to the way I like vampires portrayed. Even though they're predatory by nature, and I guess there's a lot of like things you could do with that. Well, they did it really good and let the right one in. That vampire was still very predatory, and it wasn't so much a sexual thing. But yeah, I didn't really care for that part of it. Jim, hey, you made it. It is considered a motivation. He also wanted to get out of the land he was in. We're talking a little bit about Nosferatu here, Jim. I have somewhat good news for you, Jim. Don't get too excited though. But yeah, like he also wanted to get out of the country he was in, and then there was also his apparent psychic connection to Holy Depp Rose's character. Now, what's interesting about that is in the original Nosferatu, there was not a ongoing psychic connection, but at one point in the story, there is almost like this weird contact that's made between the two of them. But it has no tie-in to like any backstory between the two of them or anything. Mm. 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 So, Jim, I don't know if you can see over my right shoulder there, but well, on your screen, it's going to be to the left. But I've been reading through, actually reading through sections of Bernard Comrie's. I always use it as there we go, reference, but major languages, world's major languages. Yeah, it's helping out. It's helping out with some of the vision on stuff and helping me just move forward. I've had an uneven uh, I can't think of the word, but I've had an uneven uh, I've kept an uneven schedule with working on the languages, but I would say that lately, or this past year, I've put more time into it, I think, even than I did during COVID, which was the height of working on them before. And since I've been organizing my notes and everything and trying to get myself over any hiccups or how do I say it? Self-consciousness about all the stuff, which, we've talked about in the past. I feel pretty good about how it's going. And, I'm starting to, or I've been making documents with all my notes in them so that stuff doesn't get lost and I don't feel like I have to keep reinventing the wheel every time I work on them. So it is slow going. I am doing the I'm doing the inadvised thing of like working on multiple languages at once, but it's the only way I can do this correctly. Well, for me, correctly. Thanks. Yeah, I'm still trying to get the time in. When I was doing so many conventions, I really couldn't get as much time in as I wanted to, but somehow the hours put in were solid. I just got to get more done because then I can really, I know I keep saying that, I can really get rolling with things like Chadiana and everything else, like at a good clip because sorry, Anipal, I'm not ignoring. Oh my God, I got to do the hands. I realized I never put white on the hands. Bram Stoker's Dracula way better, except maybe, you know what? I don't care about Keanu Reeves's acting in that. I can overlook it. I understand the accent wasn't great. Technically, Winona Ryder's accent wasn't fantastic either. I wouldn't say Anthony Hopkins did a perfect Dutch accent. I don't know. I feel like Keanu Reeves gets too much hate over that movie. It's not like he's the only one. But, it's so, well, in my opinion, it's the best Coppola movie because I've never seen The Godfather and I really still have no plans in my life to see them. But yeah, without having seen those, I would say it's his best film. But I still think the original Nosferatu is better than even Coppola's Dracula. It is the pinnacle of, well, again, it's my favorite movie ever, but also it's the best vampire movie. It's hard to say though, because I am really attached to Let the Right One In. And when I say that, I mean, I think the original was Swedish. I mean that one, not the American remake. Although the American remake, for remaking a foreign film, that's one of the times where we didn't do too bad. But I don't know. That one has such a good depiction of a vampire as well. I actually got the book translated, of course, for my for Christmas, because I just would love to get more into that. But I saw the movie years ago. I just was one day sitting on the couch on Netflix. It was there. I watched it. Not really much known about it going in. Just happened to almost pick it out of a hat. So if you didn't see Honeyball, I have been running Darkfire press ads on Facebook and Instagram. Those have been gone. Oh, you have seen it. That's good. Yeah, I love that film. I think depicting vampires as manipulative and predatory is like the best way to go. I don't mind per se if they're portrayed in a sexual way, but you know, it's not necessary, and Let the Right One In really just does a bang up job on it. Glorious film. What do we got here? Have I seen the Last Voyage of the Demeter? Two things about that. One, very quickly, back when I was in college, I had thought there would be I had a great idea for a story or a novella where you're on the ship with all these people and weird stuff's happening and people are dying. And then I wanted to reveal by the end of it that it was the Demeter. So I know that the movie is not the same. You know, I know that you kind of know, from what I understand, Dracula's in it more upfront. But no, I haven't seen it. I wanted to, and then one of those times where I let public opinion kind of get in the way. I heard from people that it was just so shitty. Sorry. That I was just like, well, I don't need to go see it in the theater. And then I just, you know, what happens when it comes to streaming services, you don't always get on it. So no, I just never saw it. I guess I would still like to. I'm not going to totally let other people keep me from seeing it. I just didn't feel like I was in as much of a rush to see it if it was supposedly bad. Although these days, you know, I can't always tell why people think something is bad. Sometimes I think their reasons are less than a bit nitpicky about stuff that they don't need to be nitpicky about. I guess we'll put it that way. I've been wanting to see it. It looked interesting. Yeah, well, you know, I do think it does. And again, I sort of had a similar concept in mind at one point. Somebody that saw it, I told them my idea for a short story. They were like, yeah, it's not exactly that. So you could probably still do that short story. So yeah, now here's the question with this one. I'm gonna say that at this point, not that the stream is done, but this in particular right here is finished. I still don't know if I want to put down some molding paste and put a whole bunch of stuff around him. But yeah, Finally got this guy done. I can't believe I got hit with a diverticulitis attack this week and wasn't able to finish it. Because I wanted to get prints made for this weekend. And that ain't gonna happen. But I can still get it ready for one of the upcoming shows. Oh, yeah, you know what? I did see that. But I wasn't going into it thinking it was going to be this, like, great movie. In the sense of, like, something like Stoker's Dracula or something. So, yeah, I had a lot of fun with that one. I personally love the campiness of Nick Cage's performance. Nicholas Hoult seems to be doing a lot of vampire movies, but yeah, no, he was good in it too. Awkwafina, who I know of her, but I don't know really anything about her. But yeah, everybody was good in it. And Nick Cage got his wish because, his Uncle Francis wouldn't let him play Dracula in his film. He got Gary Oldman instead. So now Nick Cage got to play Dracula. Yeah, it's almost a farce. Not a fan of Awkwafina. I think she was fine in the movie, but I don't know. Like, I don't know her from. I don't know if she was on. I'm going to sound like such an idiot right now. I don't know if she was on Mad TV or what, but I just know she exists and she's a comedian. But in the film, she seemed fine. I know that there are people that don't like her for various reasons, but I was like, I don't know. I don't know what. Oh, she just annoys you. I get that. I really haven't seen any comedy of hers other than that. So I only knew who she was because there were some articles that came up at one point long before the movie came out that she was, I don't know, something. And then, yeah, I just kind of. It's not even that memorable because I can't remember. But yeah, it was just. Man. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know whether to decorate him. The master at work. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, Ryan. I thought you were still on it all. I can't see from here that well. I just see the Facebook icon. Ryan, don't you have a comic on Kickstarter right now? That's going through the Fugitive Poem guys. I'm sorry if I haven't kept up perfectly. You're done. What do you mean you're done? Like the Kickstarter ended? What, did I miss it? Yeah, okay. All right. Well, I was going to tell you to plug the Kickstarter, but I guess that's not going on. I don't know. Well, I'm sure I'm going to see you on the road, man. I'll be up in Massachusetts, in your neck of the woods. It was a digital launch party. That was it? A digital launch party? Oh, no. I thought I was going to let you use my live stream right now to plug it. You still could. I definitely want to get a copy, but I want a physical copy. I want a physical copy of the book. Hopefully before Rhode Island Comic Con. I'm sure I'm going to see you before that, but man, I feel like that's the only thing on my list right now that I can think of that I'm going to see you at. It will eventually be available. Okay, well, that's something. Well, maybe you're doing Fan Expo Boston, or are you going to be doing Terrificon? I will be at Fan Expo Boston because I re-upped and I don't back out of things. That's still not until August, though. That feels horrible to be like, hey, you're going to be around in 6 months, Ryan? Love to see you then. Oh, man. We got to get together. When I'm out that way. Terrificon. Oh, you're doing that one? Yeah. So I guess it's too good for some people to miss. It's still one of my better shows, but it's not one of my best shows. I actually do better at CT GamerCon than I do at Terrificon. I'm starting to notice that shows that are heavily comic focused are not good for me. So, yeah, no, I get it. I get it. A lot of people do well. It's still very good. And I would have done it if I hadn't already signed up for Fan Expo. I sent Mitch an email just to let him know why I wasn't applying this year, and to CT GamerCon, because one of my horror cons, which I also had already registered for, was the same weekend as that one. So none of Mitch Halleck's cons this year. I hope he doesn't hold it against me. But it's just the way the cookie crumbled this year. So I will not see you in Boston. Well, I hope Terrificon is still good, regardless. I just wish they weren't going up on the same weekend. It'll be what it'll be. No problem, Jim. Take your time. Honestly, now I'm just futzing with this. I don't honestly know what else to do with it. And I don't know. I'm not going to do the background now. I am going to at least scan it and decide later if I'm going to do that. What we got here? You hope someone would fold and change the date. Yeah, I really hope so too. Because if I did both of them right, then that would be even better for me, you know. just because one usually makes me more money than the other one does not mean that one is not good. It just. But yeah, since I knew. Actually, no, yeah, it worked out really bad this year. Both his shows just right up against something else. Yeah, and I don't want to get in the middle of promoters going up against each other, but I just kind of wish they wouldn't, for the very selfish reason that I have money to make and I don't really have a horse in that race. So, I just kind of want to have as many good shows to go to and make money as possible. And especially without the need of getting on a plane to go, because with my setup, I don't feel like I'm at a place where I can fly. Pen choice on this piece, pen choice. I'm not exact. Hi, Wendy. How you doing? Thank you for the card. I forgot to reach out. The Christmas card. Do you mean what pen did I use on this one? Because if you're asking that, a lot of them. I used 2 zebra pens, the regular and the fine. I use my Pentel brush pen, and I was using a 01 micron for the really tiny parts. I think that's all of it. And then the white was done with my Posca marker and my Prismacolor white colored pencil, all on gray toned paper. I only really started getting into toned paper at the end of 2022. I did a couple of pieces on brown paper. They were from the game Bloodborne, and yeah, for whatever reason, people really, really responded to those. So I have continued to do it. No problem. Happy to spread the magical smiles. Thank you. I was too late in getting my niece out to send it as a Christmas card this year. I really have to start doing that. But Ryan, also, I'm sorry, I did do, because you can see the gray on his coat is definitely darker than the gray of the paper. That I did ink washes on. And the same thing to just enhance some of the shadows in places. So yeah, and that's just, I keep a thing that's just half water and ink, but it's just Higgins ink with water. Yeah. Kind of unfortunate. I don't know that I ever have hit this point in the live stream where yeah, I finished a piece. And then what do you do? What do you do with the rest of the time? I mean, I don't have to go 2 hours, but I'm not exactly feeling like I couldn't. So, ooh, That's a good piece. Thank you. Thank you. It goes with another one. Hang on. Oh man. I'm very tight in this spot because of where the legs are for this tripod. Oh yeah. Nightmare Before Christmas. Pajamas. It's very cold out here. That's the other one that I did last week. They were both supposed to get last week. And then I got sick. Diverticulitis took me out. Where's the kitty cat? She has not been up here today. She was up here during my WhatNot live stream, but she was not up here today. Yeah, so I'm not sure what to do with them. I'm starting to feel like I'm just too print happy, but I'm probably gonna make them into prints. Maybe put them on a t-shirt. I really am starting to run out of ideas of what to do with my artwork now. Kitty got tired. Yeah, Kitty got tired of like messing up. Actually, she was here at the beginning. She was just sitting against my chest right in front of the table. And then she just decided she was going to go off and sleep for a bit until she's ready again to start getting in the way of this. Bill has it. Oh, so you would know. Yeah. It is the worst. Bookmarks? You really want more bookmarks, Rob? I feel like I only do the one. I could do bookmarks. I want more stuff to sell on the table. I really should be working on my books, which I didn't do last year, which was a mistake, but I was so busy. Make sure you have room on your show display. Yeah, I know. Well, that's the problem. That's what kitties do. Well, she's here now. She wants to be involved. Oh, Sorella, thank you so much. I don't know if I can get her to do it, but if I'm working, sometimes she will just sit right here in front of me now. Let's just, let's see. How you go? Oh, you know what? I have some erasing to do on that. Speak of her and she appears. Yes, work on the book. Well, the book, listen, I had to start getting artwork together so that I could start making money at these shows because they're still 80% of my income right now. And then I was already planning on doing a whole bunch of Orlock pieces since the movie was coming out. But wouldn't you know it, that Steph slid into my DMs. Steph, who has told me for the past 2 years to stop doing Orlock pieces. Oh, you're supposed to remind me. Steph messages me and says, "Hey, I think you need to start doing Orlock pieces and just make your whole table Nosferatu." I said, "Oh, the guy who's been giving me crap for years, now he wants me to do Nosferatu pieces." Yeah, I know. Chapter 2 of my book. Oh, wait, that's right. You bought see, Wendy's talking about Chadiana. You're talking about the Kirkland horror. And when you say chapter 2, I mean you probably mean the second character, right? You mean Evelyn? I personally feel, Ryan, that Evelyn is the best character in the book. I'm not going to make you feel like you just don't need to read the rest, but yeah. Oh yeah, Evelyn, I had the most fun writing her. And yeah, it was just not that the other characters weren't fun. And I loved that book, but yeah, she was I feel like she's the highlight of the book. Rob, who might still be watching, wants me to do fan art for the novel, which I would love to do. Kitty help. Yep, she's helping all right. She's helping my blood pressure. No. No, she's good. But this is what I deal with on a daily. When I am working in the studio, sans camera, she'll do this. I'll be trying to get something done, commission, my own work, client work. I got maybe 5 minutes left to work on it, and then she's going to sit right here. Yeah, you too, Ryan. I hope you enjoy the rest of the book, and thanks for the feedback. Thanks for showing up. And let me know when your comic comes out. I'm going to harass Christian and James and find out when they're putting that thing out. What do we got here? Sorry. It's hard for me to see it on the screen. She is swiping erasers. Strays. Yeah, she is. I just don't want her to, because she has done it to me once or twice. She's like put her fingernails right into the paper. She doesn't, obviously she's not clawing, so she doesn't tear it, but she puts like a nice groove into it. Always good. Right, Cirilla? You just think anywhere that there is a finger, it's for you. Like she just wants this hand to stop and to rub up against it. It's moving in this back and forth motion. And you're just trying to use that. Aren't you? Aren't you? Yeah. Well, it's I'm sorry to hear Bill also has diverticulitis. I first got mine being in a high stress living situation. And now it seems to be aggravated by mostly when I overeat for for extended periods of time, like during the holidays this year. That face. Yeah, she knows what's up. Of course she does. Yeah, so, the holidays were, I gained 7 pounds over the holidays this year. Well, between Thanksgiving, my brother turning 40, we went to a Rodizio. It just felt like the leftovers went on and on forever. And then I'm not a big pastry person. I love ice cream, cupcakes, cookies. Although my mom did make cookies and there's a lot of nuts in that. That didn't help. But the one pastry I love is baklava. And I was over at my parents' house, and her neighbor had gotten her a package of baklava. And for 2 days, we were eating that like crazy. So, probably didn't help. Stress is a huge trigger for so many ailments. Yeah, well, it's what originally triggered it. I was living with somebody, and that was a nightmare situation. And I already have anxiety issues as it is. So the 2 did not go well. And I wound up in the hospital one summer with diverticulitis. Actually, it wasn't I almost wound up in the hospital in the summer, right? It was in September. And at least it was a mild enough case that there was no surgery or anything. But, I was in a friend's wedding, so I was trying to just do everything I could to get out of the hospital. They let me out because it wasn't a bad case. But I was so super strict with my diet. I didn't want to eat anything. So I lost like 30 pounds, maybe 40. It was a lot. It was a lot of weight over a few months, a couple of months. It wasn't that long, like 3 months, 3.5 months. I lost all that weight because I was just not eating. And then eventually I started to again. But since getting out of that situation, I think I've only had a flare up maybe 2 or 3 times. You have fibromyalgia. I don't know as much about it. Lots of water helps. Yeah, I haven't been eating as much since. I did go away for my brother's 40th because we surprised him, so he went away this weekend. I tried to behave myself as much as possible. And I just lived off of coffee, water, and Gatorade. Actually, the day that it flared up, I was just in bed the whole day. And I drank a little bit of Gatorade and a little bit of coffee. And I just slept and slept and slept. And it slowed me down. These would have been done. They would have been finished pieces. Autoimmune with pain everywhere that can be built. Yeah. I'm sure that's tough. I know that it's tough for me. It's amazing how little you think of your stomach muscles as being like intrinsic to everything you do until there's pain in your stomach. And then it's like, oh my God, I can't do anything where I'm not feeling pain right now. I know it's a weird thing to say. I remember I was telling to a friend of mine, we were out for my brother's thing, but I was like, it's now I understand why I hear that getting shot in the stomach or stabbed in the stomach is the worst. Yeah, it is definitely good for you. And I don't sleep right to begin with. So that can always be a factor too. I never stop. Yeah. Yeah, it's a weird thing about stuff and carry-ons, right? Because I would think being around 2 people for a few days, I would be more active, and somehow, carry-on usually make sure there's some time out of the house, but I do feel more relaxed. I'm supposed to be going and seeing them next week, actually. I go to Pennsylvania for a convention this weekend, and then I'm stopping one night here. I'm sure Cirilla will be thrilled about that. And then I'm going up to Cape Cod for a couple of days. Well, for a few days, actually, Tuesday to Friday. On Monday, I got to stop at Uncle Giuseppe's and pick her up stuff. Oh my God, I got 7 people viewing right now, and nothing's going on because I just finished everything. I'm just talking with Wendy about Steph and Carrie Ann and staying with them. Yeah, it's okay. I could have gone this past weekend, but I was in Pennsylvania in the Poconos for my brother's 40th celebration. Uncle G's. I've never been, so this will be the first time going, and I'm picking stuff up for Carrie Ann. I might pick them up some Taylor ham too at some point. I got a friend that owns a deli. I might just go by him. Get some fresh sliced. Oh, well, I will find out, I got to put in a text before the weekend's over so I know what to get on Monday. I wouldn't do it on Monday because then I'd be waiting for a response. Although Carrie Ann usually gets back to me. It depends. Carrie Ann will get back to me through text. Steph will get back to me in Messenger. It's like, Steph, you got your phone in your hand. when you're on Messenger, because I know you're not using a laptop. So what's the deal? What's the deal, Steph? Why can't you answer my text messages? Funny. Steph is great and also the bane of my existence sometimes when he wants to get a rise out of me, which is like 100% of the time. No, he's good. He does not text. Messenger is easy. You're always on there. Yeah, I don't understand it. It's like, here's the phone. Okay, just you gotta open up an app either way. Just he's a funny guy. All right. Yeah, I think they're good. They're both looking pretty nice. I'm happy with them at least. Oh, man. Rob said bookmark. I could do a Nosferatu bookmark. I think that would be cool. Too bad I don't do air fresheners, right? There you go. Yeah, they're great. Yeah, maybe he doesn't have a texting thing. Maybe he only has Facebook and Messenger. It's funny because Steph and I only interacted in the comments section of a couple of things once. And then he came by my table doing a live stream in Baltimore. But even after those two things, he still didn't remember who I was when he was in New Jersey. But it was fine. He kind of remembered, but we hit it off anyway. Yeah. I don't know. I really don't know what to do with this here. There's 7 people. This is the most I've had watching on a stream in a while, and I have nothing else to do with either piece. I mean, I'm supposed to do a spec thing for a freelance job, but I'm not going to start that now. I don't know. Yeah. Funny enough about that, Rob, if I could find out a manufacturer for temporary tattoos that I could do at a small run, I absolutely would do that. I've wanted to do temporary tattoos. I mean, I can do a longer project. I could do a whole Orlock tarot deck, but that's going to take a while. Steph wants me to make Orlock money now. He wants me to just. This is the first time Steph has a good idea. Actually, it's the first time something like pop culture perfectly aligns with one of my weird obsessions. So, you make your own. Yeah, but you probably got a Cricut machine. And I got to be honest, Wendy, I appreciate everyone that has a Cricut machine. I have no desire to do it. And here's the reason why. I know that it's cheaper, and then, I don't have the time. I really feel like I messed up last year because I booked so many shows. I didn't really have time to write any new material other than what I was doing for A Kid in a Comic, or am doing for them. And so much of the artwork, again, other than A Kid in a Comic, wound up being just stuff for prints and t-shirts and such. So if I'm going to get more books done, I can't be sitting messing around with a Cricut machine. So I would love to have some manufacturer that could do it. Which reminds me, I keep thinking I got to do challenge coins and dice, and there's so much to do. But I do need more variety of products. Not necessarily more variety of design, because that didn't work out perfectly. Although I found the stuff that works for me by doing a lot of different stuff. I need variety of products. It's really what I need. I need more things that people can use. T-shirts have been going okay. I stopped doing shows for a bit. That really helped me get other things done. So that's where it's a little bit problematic, Wendy. I'm full time, so and shows are 80% of my income, so I can't stop doing shows. I have T-shirts now. They're going okay. They're going okay. Not everybody wants to buy a print, and not everyone reads books. So that's what I'm trying to narrow down. Stickers I sell a lot of, but I don't make a lot of money off of stickers, unfortunately. I think I sold over 1,000 stickers last year. It was just like, oh, some of them have sold out. Last travel expense. What Kickstarters are good for a good fill for shows. Yeah, but I got to finish Tatiana first. Although I did see Kickstarter does a Zine, not a Zine, it does a gaming Zine, an RPG Zine month in February. And I have an old RPG I created when I was in a game design course in college. And it really did work pretty well. I thought about putting a little book together, black and white, staple bound, maybe, 24 pages, 5x8 or whatever, running a Kickstarter for it, just seeing if anybody was interested, just get my feet wet. Yeah, no, they sell a lot. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to get Steph and Carrie Ann to help develop they seemed interested in a Chadiana module. So did somebody else. But I always feel like when Chadiana gets close to a game getting made, it falls apart. Back in the mid after I had created her, let's say 2013, 2014, I had a guy that was going to develop a mobile game for Chadiana. And then he just disappeared. After a lot of back and forth and me sketching out all kinds of ideas, he just disappeared. Yeah, well, the problem is the book's been just about done for a while, but I am putting in work into it constantly. I got too bogged down with the shows, I mean, I'm not even gonna make an excuse about that. There were a lot of other things that held it up before, but this past year it was definitely shows. 57 of them did not help. But I've been working on it since shows slowed down. So we'll be good. It'll get out. Yeah. Yeah, it was a lot of shows. I only plan on doing about 30 to 35 this year. And again, I say that only because 80% of my income is on shows. Now, if I could move that, if I could move that metric in favor of something else, it would be easier for sure. running more Kickstarters will be good if I can get, well, once I get Chadiana out. I even want to run more Chadiana Kickstarters. I just will have to do it differently this time. And then, you know, I'm trying to get my online sales up too, which is why I'm running ads right now. So yeah, we can always brainstorm at some point. One of these days we got to get a retreat in Cape Cod. You know, the problem is we'll probably need like a month workshop all our ideas. I appreciate that, Wendy. I do. Well, anytime, you know. Anytime you want to help out. You know, Carrie Ann and Steph have honestly tried to help out too. That's how I started doing WhatNot and the YouTube lives, was because of them. So, you know, Carrie and I do most of our work via Facebook video chat. Yeah, I know. I've been there when a couple of times when you're having your meetings. Can you kind of is it possible to do like 3-way calls? I just know Carrie Ann likes to be on too. And then I wouldn't be interrupting the time the two of you have together, because I know it's in the morning before you start teaching and everything. Yeah, we can. All right, cool. Staff meeting. Yeah, that's what we really need. All right. Well, I might end the stream because I feel bad for any of the other 5 people that are watching. I'm like, nothing's happening because I finished. I'm done. It was supposed to be done last week. I would have been working on something else. Who knows what it would have been this week. But I'm not going to start a new piece now. So, yeah. 3-way Facebook calls would work great. Yeah, they would. And then you could see the apartment in full display, because this is just one little corner in the middle of everything. Oh, man. Besides, I have been taking a page out of Carrie Ann and Steph's book in the morning. I have my coffee, do my Duolingo lessons, read a bit, and then any like stuff that I can do, like answering emails or whatever that I got to get done really quick, I do that in the morning. Well, thank you, Wendy. Thank you. I appreciate it. I hope people enjoyed it coming together. I feel like it was such a letdown for, I mean, not a letdown, but usually I don't even finish something on a live stream. And if I do, I started it, and I certainly don't like, it's not like, hey, you know, 9:02, I'm done. I know it's gone on a bit, but we're still chatting here. But yeah, let me know. We can chat anytime. I'll be away Thursday through Sunday though. And then I'll be with the Wilsons from Tuesday to Friday. So I'm sure Carrie Ann's gonna have 90 ideas for me to do. But yeah, well, I appreciate everybody coming by tonight. I got a lot of people looking. Maybe it's just because the art looks good. I don't know. I'm actually happy with it. Which doesn't happen often. But I like when I do an Orlock piece. It's rare that I don't like one of these. So yeah, I won't be back next week. Yeah, we should have I'll reach out. And you have a good night too and get some sleep. Yeah. I won't be back next week because I'll be at Bad Carry Studios in Massachusetts. It's possible I'll pop on, but chances are I won't. And then I'll be back in February, going strong with these. I kind of like doing the whatnots during the day, though. But I might move those to Thursdays. I don't know. But, this is working out so far. So, yeah. See everyone on, what is that, February? February? Or is there still a January date in there? Oh, yeah. I'll be back on the 28th. 28th of January, everyone. So, yeah. You have a good night. Sorry for anyone that I didn't get to talk with too much. You'll see yes with Orange Crimson Katsune. Just reach out, set something out. Yes, have all the ideas. Good night, Tim. And good night, Wendy. Good night, Rob. I'll make sure that I reach out to Leslie before I go to bed tonight so that I can get that from her. And yeah. See you all in a couple of weeks. Take care. Have a great night. Where's my music cue? It's up here somewhere. All right, there we go. Oh my God, that's loud. There we go. Want to make sure that's not too loud. All right. Oh, this is so long getting to this. Yeah. Have a good night, everyone.